Hey, welcome back to the channel. I love showing off threezero's work, particularly on the Marvel line. It's quite impressive with that die cast and PVC immersion. Got something I want to show you today. I know it's not new. I think this came out back in 2021, but it's being reissued. We're starting to see fan channels carry it again. It was quite sought after back when it's released, and it's kind of amazing actually, and that's why I want to show you guys. Take this chance. So if you're on the fence about whether or not to get this guy, I'm going to show them to you, and then I'm going to give you a little discount code so you can pick them up a little bit under market value as well. As always, let's take a look at this box. This thing is massive. Obviously, the Hulkbuster here is kind of in scale with the other Iron Man in the line. So he's definitely going to be the biggest in the line so far of what we've seen with the this DLX series of Marvel figures. You can see the character actually doesn't even fit in the front of the package. He kind of wraps around onto the side. He's so large. And then on the back as well. So it's kind of keeping in tune with the similarities in the other packaging of the Infinity Saga, with that gold leaf trim, with that cloudy galactic background. But one thing I really love about this package and where it stands out with the other ones is this right here. It is a magnetic seal. And you don't actually see this a lot in a lot of lines. I've went through several videos and it's all been Velcro, whether it be NECA or other threezero products or Super 7, it's Velcro. This is magnets, and I think it not only gives it more of a premium feel, it looks better, and it's not going to wear as fast. It should take a long time to wear. Magnets last thousands of years, as I understand. So it's a nice premium feel to it, and of course you got your character in there. And then you get a nice little shot of the technical readout on this side. But that magnet goes a long way. I think it really makes this box worth keeping, particularly if you want to move this guy around. I think it's a good box to hold on to, although it is massive. But let's hop right in and show you this guy. So here's our guy here. It's just basically in this form-fitting packaging. There's not much to show to that. I didn't want to spend too much time on showing you guys how he comes out of plastic. You could figure it out. I don't get the point of a lot of unboxing videos. But he comes with these sets of hands. This is something threezero does, is give you a lot of variety in the hands. So he has slightly closed cupped hands, so he could, and then more open hands so he could do his repulsors. But these ones don't have any holes to stick in additional flame effects like we've seen with the other Iron Man in the line. Also, they don't articulate, so the fingers are just kind of static where they are here. But let's give you a close-up so you can check out this guy. You can see that great gleam on him, that automotive finish that is coming off the die-cast components on his armor. And you can see that offset with that nice gold trim to give him additional sort of depth in the character there. So it's a mixture of that PVC and a mixture of that die-cast, which makes these sort of so unique to them. But they really kind of stand out because of that feature. So he doesn't come with any other, like I said, accessories, flame guns or anything like that. He does have these tasers here that extend out of his arm. So they kind of move a little bit. I get a little choppy on how these extend out. Here we go. So they extend out a little bit here. They have the sort of, instead of repulsors, he has these tasers in his arms. They move somehow. There we go. I'm starting to get them. There we go. So these little taser cannons are here, and they retract out of the arm. And if you wanted to as well, you have that little battering ram component that comes out of it too. So you can see right here on this side. So he has that little function out of there. These little taser cannons on the side here. These move out a little bit as well. So all kind of require a little bit of dexterity in your fingers to pull off. But you could have that taser function, or you could put those back, and then you could have this sort of battering ram function as well. So these are all underneath these little gauntlets that he has on each side that just require you to sort of maneuver up like this, and then you get that component coming out right here on the side. So that's nice to have that little retractable armament option on the side. And if you master it, you can do it much easier than I can. The other function he has is the light up function, because we see that on all the DX Iron Man. So this one, instead of just one, actually has 3 lights on him. So he has his chest light here. He has the light in the back, which I guess I should have looked up how to do this. And then he has a light in the head as well. So the light in the head actually has a switch. I think it's right here. Maybe not, maybe. and we'll get to the cockpit function in a moment. Yeah, I think it's right, there we go. So we have those eyes, awesome. And then we have the back, which I think has a, there's gonna be a lot I'm gonna show you on his articulation. So the back comes out here, and there we go, okay. So there's a button in the back, so you can see his back repulsor. So this, you kind of pinch this on the sides here, and there's a little button underneath. So the good news is he operates on those AG1 batteries that we've seen on the other Ironman. So you could acquire those in the same quantity of pack in order to put these in. And you're gonna be putting them in the back, in the chest, and in the head. The head was kind of the most difficult for me. It's all gonna be in this giant packet of instructions that come with the guy. So you could figure that out there. But you can see how the head lifts up. And then what we have in here is we have a little cockpit. And these unclamp on the side here to then lift up on each side and move the armor out. So we could get our Iron Man, I think it was Mark 42, if I'm not mistaken, or 43, from Age of Ultron, to fit in there. So this maneuvers out a little bit, and then your Iron Man sits in here. So we did a review on that Iron Man previously, so you can check that out on our site, but I happen to have him right here, so I can incorporate him into this segment so you guys could see what it looks like to have Iron Man sitting inside the Hulkbuster. So this Iron Man you could pick up too as well. This is Mark 43. So like I said, similar packaging design, have that multiple layers. And the only trick on this is you're not putting the whole body in here. You can see that they kind of carved it out, that all that fits in there is the upper torso. So he's not sticking his legs down into the legs of the Hulkbuster. So all you really need to do is separate them like so, and just take the top portion of them. And then you could turn on Iron Man's chest repulsor as well. And then you could turn on his, I think the button's right here. Yep, you could turn on his eyes as well. So we go over how to do this in all the Iron Man videos, so you can watch those. So I know it's a little bumming or disappointment that you can't put his whole body in here, but it's still going to have a pretty cool look when he sits in. And he fits in pretty nicely because this cradle is actually perfectly contoured to the battery compartment on this Iron Man. So you just kind of stick him in here. You gotta kind of open it up a little bit to maneuver it to be able to get him in there. But get him in there you shall. And there have instructions in here on how to do this. So it'd be on the pages here. There's also another function you could do of attaching him using an action stand to sort of have him float in there as well. But everything could fit inside. So we'll just sort of tuck him in, and maybe I'll do a quick cut and show you this so I don't have to struggle with this while you guys waste time watching. So 1 second. Okay, so here's our Iron Man sitting inside his Hulkbuster armor. The only thing I missed that I forgot you had to do is you have to actually take the arms off of Iron Man, so the arms won't fit in there either. So it's basically just the head and the torso, but you can't really tell from him being in there. So I have this open. I'll do a quick circle here so you can check him out in a 360, what he looks like in there. So he fits in pretty form-fitting, pretty snug. It looks like he is indeed piloting this thing, and you're able to open this all the way up so you can get him in there. And then I'll put it together so you guys can see what it looks like when he's closed in. But I think it looks pretty sharp when he's in there, pretty cool. It takes just a little bit of effort, but in my opinion, totally worth it because it looks amazing when you finally get him situated in there. And I mean, you're talking like maybe a minute, so it's not that much of an effort. But the armor comes out on an angle. It doesn't go straight up. So this is what I mean. It comes in on an angle and pushes in. And then these all kind of latch in the front, nice and secure. And then the head closes over here. So you have them all situated in there. It should be nice and snug. And then we have our Iron Man inside of our Iron Man like a little nesting doll. So then we could have that full battle with Hulk. And you know you got Tony in there squaring off in Age of Ultron. Now we don't have a Hulk equivalent. I mean, I've seen a lot of Hulks. We have a Diamond Select Hulk over here just for a scale. And this is I know this is their Red Hulk. And he's almost the size. I mean, this is done in the 7-inch scale, so it's a little different. It's a different scale from the these deluxe ones. So he's not really, I don't think, tall enough. They should be roughly the same size, thereabouts, but still think he looks pretty amazing. And like I said, if you want, you could put these gauntlets on and off, depending on what you want to do with them. But like I said, they look pretty cool to have that sort of attachment or ability to use some more gear or weapons come out of them. And, you know, that's how Tony designed it, so it works out pretty well. So, like I said, ton of articulation on this guy. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, he's going to have some, this is what I mean about armor articulation, to allow you to get some movement out of these. So you're going to have a lot of this in the feet, on the back of the legs here. You're going to have articulation in these, in the feet here, to allow you to get some, all the way down to the shoe, to allow you to get maximum sort of reach and points on this. Now you see these little transparent thrusters in the bottom. They do not light up. That would have been over the top cool, but they're on there. You can see the back of the shins here. This articulates too, to give you that full range of motion. That was the word I was looking for, full range of motion there. The knees, of course, bend, and you can see this armor moves with him. That's pretty cool. So as you move, it slides in place to give you that sort of seamless armor look. And you can see it's a double knee here, so it bends both ways, fully through. So if you wanted to do some really cool down on one knee with the fist superhero poses, you could totally do that with this large scale armor, which is quite amazing because it's kind of hard to pull that off even on the smaller scale armor. But then, of course, he's got double elbows up here as well in the arms. He's got that full wrist movement because it's on a ball. He's got that articulation here in the additional armor points on the arm, and then on the shoulder he has that paneled armor that's moving to allow him to get that arm nice and high, full reach, no block to his movement there. So it's pretty nice. And then they have that ball that extends out to give you a little bit more room in the shoulder. And then, of course, he's going to bend at the waist. We see that great waist movement on all the threezero figures. So we have that here as well. He's got a good side to side. He's got a good front and back. He's got a little bit of head articulation too, because it's on a separate joint there. So even after it seals in, you can move that head around without even lifting it up. He's got all that great articulation there and that head. And if you wanted to switch the hands out, let's try that, because I love doing a hand test on every single figure to see how difficult they are. Just a little twist and a pull. This one's a little bit difficult because I don't want to hit this while I'm pulling it off. We'll put on this hand. You can see that giant ball that these sit on, and that ball doesn't move there. So put that giant ball. A little bit more difficult than the other threezeros, just because probably I have to wear this in a little bit. But then you got that nice hand repulsor there if you wanted to use that. And I mean, he's just a lot going on in this guy. And like I said, there's probably even a lot more I don't know about in here that you could go through and see what other kinds of articulation points you have. Like everything kind of moves with you, which is really neat. Like this armor here, as you move the armor moves. So to keep that look seamless and to get out of your way. I mean, I like how this hip armor moves. That's a pretty cool feature, that it kind of looks almost mechanical as that moves around. I mean, everything is great on this guy. He's probably, I'm going to say he's the best Hulkbuster I've seen. I mean, I know there's other Hulkbusters out there, but I mean, look at this great sheen on him, this metal combination here. He's got weight to him. He's got the light up function on the back, on the chest, on the eyes. And then he has that room for the pilot in there, who could also have a light up function on the chest and on the eyes. You know, it's a bummer that it's not the full empty shell where you can put the legs in there. But I could see how that might be tricky when you're talking about this much articulation and being able to bend the inside guy's leg and the outside guy's leg at the same angles with all that armor on them as well, because this has different plating on it as well. In order to get his bend, you need to sort of like pull the leg out a little bit to get additional movement on it. So that would kind of be tricky to have to do all that with this guy on top. So I could see why they chose to sort of separate that a little bit. But I mean, a lot going on. It's all going to be covered in the guide here. The movement, you could do legs go sideways, because this is gonna move with you. This is gonna push out a little bit here. So you have this hip articulation. So this piece at the hip moves to allow you to move this gear out here sideways. You're gonna have the ability to move the leg out. Let's see if we could take it out a little bit. This one doesn't seem to pull out, or maybe I'm not pulling it hard enough. The other ones pull out a little bit to give you a little bit additional movement in the hip. And what I also like about the threezero armoring system here is if you push something in the wrong direction, it doesn't snap, it just kind of moves with you, and you could always like reattach it. So this hip plating here is not supposed to pop out, but it did. But I was able to put it right back in, no harm, no foul. So I've yet to break anything on threezero because they're kind of a little bit durable. They're pretty durable, and they move with you. And I think you could sort of customize this a couple ways. I think these handguards, I'm not going to do it, but I think they come off if you wanted to take them off to have a different look for the guy. But you could just make it your own and discover some additional features that maybe I didn't find on this really incredible Hulkbuster. But like I said, he's awesome. He looks great. Get a real premium feel to him. Everything down to the box. And you could square off against the giant Hulk. Like I said, I don't have a good green Hulk this size, but you know, you could square off against the giant Hulk if you wanted to and have your little recreation from Age of Ultron. And he works just great. I mean, looks great, works great. Takes just a couple of minutes to figure him out, but once you do, you know, you can kind of master it. I'm sure there's people that are better at these things than me. But you can see he's got this really great paint job, really great light up function. And that's what we've seen in a lot of the DLX figures. Check out our other reviews. That great die cast system and this light up function, I mean, just really premium. And I even did one video where I compared it to Marvel Legends. I think it's when we did the Iron Man Mark XLIV. And you could just see night and day the difference between the two. Yes, the threezero is a little bit bigger. I think it's 7 inches instead of 6 inch. But man, they look drastically different from that dull plastic to this shiny mixture of die cast and PVC. Huge difference. It stands out above all your other characters in lines, and the light up function just elevates it to the fact that it looks like it's almost like a real Iron Man shrunk down with some pin particles to be an action figure. So totally worth checking these out if you're new to them and picking up. They're a little bit more pricey. I mean, Marvel Legends is like 20, I don't know, almost 30 bucks now maybe, and these are around $89, somewhere around 90. This guy, I think he runs somewhere between $250 and maybe $225 and $275, somewhere in that range. But we're going to have a little discount code for you, so you can get them for 10% off, which at this price point is a big deal. Saving like 25 or 30 bucks. From Entertainment Earth, so we'll have a link up for that. It's going to be restocking soon, and that's why we're showing you this now. So if you're trying to make that call on whether or not to get this guy, if you missed him the first time around, I think it's worth it. He's going to stand out in your Marvel Legends line, in any line. Is an awesome Hulkbuster, totally worth getting, and goes well with your other figures as well. I haven't tried him with other threezero figures to see if the other Iron Man are designed to come apart like this to fit into this Hulkbuster, and I'm kind of worried that they're not, and I'll break their arms or something like that. So I haven't tried it. I mean, he's designed to go with the Mark XLIII, which you could pick up now, still in stock, and here's sitting here nicely. The other thing you could do, and I'll show you this in a second, is you could have him floating on top here using the stand from the Mark XLIII. So that comes in the Mark XLIII here. So you can see him here floating on top as he's like descending into the armor. So you could have that as a display if you wanted to as well. So you could have your full Iron Man Mark XLIII in view, descending into the armor, and then you could mix it up, put him in the armor, or however you want to do it. So they gave you some options, which is pretty cool that they did that. So that's all for now on this guy. Great piece, love it. Wanted to make sure you guys got a chance to see it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done the review since he came out 2 years ago, and I try to do new things for the most part. So this is our Iron Man. He's going to be restocking soon at Big Bad. He's going to be restocking soon at Entertainment Earth and other places. So take advantage of our code for that discount. I'll have it in this video. I'll have it in the article on our site. You could always take advantage of our discount code, CoolToy22. We'll get you 10% off all in-stock orders, 39 and more, plus free shipping. So totally, I think it's 10% off all orders, no price limit, actually. The 39 and more is for the free shipping. So it's easy to spend $39, particularly with prices now on toys. So yeah, check them out, pick them up. I think it's totally worth your time, and you'll be very happy with them. Takes up some shelf space, but you can see them standing toe-to-toe. If you're getting select figures like Hulk here or Apocalypse over there, they're taking up big space anyway, but this guy just really stands out, and I think he's a great centerpiece if you're doing larger characters from the Marvel Universe. So check them out, grab them, use that discount code. Like, subscribe, and follow to our channel to check out more threezero videos. We have a full line of their DLX Iron Man that we did, so if you're interested in any one of those characters, check out all the reviews we did. I think the 43 review we did was a couple years ago, so it's not a video, so you'd have to dig on our site to see in our review section where the printed reviews are, the written reviews. And we have other threezero products as well. We've shown you guys the Voltron, which was pretty cool. We started showing some of the Transformers ones. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do more of those. Those are awesome as well, worth checking out. We'll have more reviews coming up. I think we're going to have a special theme coming up for June. I don't want to spoil it yet. Maybe there's a big movie coming out, which was kind of inspiring me to do the theme. So we'll check that out. And we're going to be heading off to SDCC in just about a month. So we'll have plenty of on-site interviews to show you guys, new product reveals, which show you site exclusives, and many more surprises. So keep tuning back for that. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.